Hey y'all, it's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. Welcome back. I didn't give you much warning tonight, so I apologize. I was sprinting down here after bedtime. So it's Saturday, July 12th. And as always, I am not hello everybody, music for the vibe, Gritter TK, bassman. I'm not a doctor, a lawyer, a financial advisor, or a therapist. If you need one of those, please seek those. Hello, Danny. Hi, Am. Hi, Devry. Hi, Nicole. I'm waiting for KK to show up. Hi, Anna. Hi, Lily. Tammy. Hello, KK. So KK is my moderator here. If you're new here, welcome. You will know that I always say that I have the best subscribers on YouTube. And this is a really, really lovely group. So if you're here, this is a great, safe, wonderful, welcoming space. To my oldies but goodies, thank you as always for your support and being here. I got to meet a few more of my subscribers this week. And it was a really, again, it just affirmed, as I say, that I have the best subscribers. It was really, really cool. Did some really great private readings this week. One of them was funny. I got a song. I don't know if you guys know the Steve Winwood song, Valerie. And I was like, it was like the very first thing I was like, I don't know. Do you know the song? I didn't sing it for him because I know sometimes I sing on here, but I played it for him so he didn't have to hear my awful voice. It's a little harder when you actually have to look somebody in the eye to do that. And he's like, no, I don't know. And then he emailed me last night and validated because he finally went online and listened to it again. He's like, oh my God, I knew the techno version of that song and we used to listen to it all the time. So it was really cool to get that validation that sometimes things come through and all of that. So, Rosella, if you're looking to connect with anybody directly, like a spirit guide or a loved one, give me a name. If there's one specific and we can see if we can tap in. Let's do it that way instead of combing the ethers for a potential somebody, and maybe it's like a great grandmother that you never met shows up and then you can't validate anything and it feels like so. My husband starts physical therapy this week, so hopefully that's on the road to recovery. It's a long recovery from this surgery. It is not a short thing. And then what's crazy is here in Jersey, we're doing really well with the COVID thing, and I'm not trying to jinx it, but everybody is still, very on top of wearing their masks and social distancing. And so I feel like we're in a different space than pretty much anybody that's not in the Northeast. So I do believe that people are going to, even though numbers are really, really big right now in Florida and Texas, that they'll start coming down. I don't think that they're going to be in school in September. I don't care how much Trump is pushing it. So let's get started. Bonita, what can I expect in the upcoming week? Do you have a low doorway in your house, or I don't know? I just feel like I hit my head. I know that sounds weird, but you said, "What can I expect?" And I don't know if this is literal or metaphorical, but it feels or symbolic. Because I just keep seeing you hit your head and holding your head. Or do you have a low, a crawl space or something? Just let me know all of that, because that way I can figure out what this is. Hi, Albert. Long time no see. You have a low doorway or a crawl space or somewhere, because I feel like I'm looking for something and I just don't quite clear my head. I don't know. But I'm in this space or this area looking for something. The only other thing I can say is you're going to find what you're looking for. So I don't know what that means, but also watch when you're, if it's not literal that you're hitting your head, which it's so weird that I'm leaning towards this, but then when you're looking for, sometimes when we go looking for what we want, there's this other part of it where you might just be on the lookout. No, it just, I don't know. So then maybe it's symbolic. I don't know. Just, or if you're in some weird situation, I don't know what it is, but I keep getting pulled to like just duck. Oh, it's so dumb. It's so weird. Trust me, they give me weird stuff all the time. Like the Valerie song where I'm like, I don't understand this and I can't. And they're, people become, listen, I don't know what this is, but I just feel like duck. But I also feel like whatever it is you're looking for, you're going to find. It's weird, but when you ask open-ended questions, sometimes you get weird stuff. Sorry, love. Do you have a crawl space under a set of stairs? Because this is, it sort of reminds me of when I go, we have a little door that, under our stairs. And actually when I'm under the stairs, I can actually stand up fine. In fact, I can barely even reach the top of it in one part of it. But whenever I go to back out, I always have to be careful to duck extra low because the door, I've hit my head on it thinking I was low enough. Am. I don't feel like you have it, am, but because I'm a cover my tuchus kind of lady who used to be a nurse, as I can't diagnose, I would get tested if you're concerned, but I don't feel like you have it. I actually feel like it is sort of from the clearing. But again, lean towards err on the side of caution and get tested just because it's going around, and they have ones that are 15-minute tests now. So it's not that big of a deal to do it and stay safe and kind of just, don't kiss on your family and don't breathe all over them and keep your space from them until But I don't feel like you do. But again, I am all about erring on the side of caution, especially with COVID. Hi, Devry. Hi, Nicole. Jose. So last week, somebody asked me about something I'm interested in. Forgive me, please, that I don't remember who it was or any of that. I'm sort of in a different headspace when I'm doing this. So some things will stick with me, and a lot names, I have a hard time. I'm trying to manifest not having a hard time with it. So I guess I'm working on that. But even when I do readings, even if I was really, really great with names, it's just, I literally am in a different headspace. So this person wanted to know, and they're like, well, last month you said we would be together. And I know with Jose, I said I thought he was the one, but I also think sometimes we jump timelines, and you have to remember when I'm doing these readings, I'm looking at that timeline from that specific time. And I really do believe in manifesting. So when we start focusing on the fact that we don't have that person and they're not here yet, and why is it not coming, we're starting to shift away then. So if at that moment when I said, yeah, I felt like he would be with you and he was the one, and then you continue to not focus on not having, and I can feel that energy there, it moves you out of that timeline and into another timeline. There are infinite, when we say infinite timelines, when we're manifesting something that's easy to manifest, it's on just a slightly different timeline, right? Or it can be the same one where it's easier for people to bring it to you. The harder and the longer and the more it takes to get into that, it takes more time because you sort of have to jump several timelines. Sort of, this is just not exactly, but in order to wrap your head around why it takes more for one. So the more different it is from this exact timeline, the more effort it takes on the universe's part, the more movement and moving parts that have to get you there. So as a psychic, what I'm doing is when you ask a question on this timeline, I see it in this direction or see you moving in this direction. So if it's something that you think is, oh, but I don't really want this, but is this going to happen? You're like, but I don't like what you told me. You manifest something differently. You shift it into a different thing. But if you ask me that you continue to focus on, I don't have it. Well, the universe returns that because that's what your mindset is you're focusing on that. Like the future is your thoughts now manifested into reality, right? So if you kept focusing on him not being around, because I just feel like he's not. Is he coming back in August? Do you know? Because I just feel like something has shifted in him. And I don't even know that he's necessarily in a relationship. I actually feel very depressed. Can you validate any of that, Nicole? Thank you, Greeter TK. I just feel like he's really not even focused on romance or anything like that right now. I feel like he might come back in August, but I don't feel like he's looking for a relationship. I got to be honest, because I feel like he's depressed. So stop focusing on not having him. If you really want him, do manifestation and see him as if it already is. And anything that seems like, instead of getting disappointed that it's not falling into place, it's like you just go, well, this is just part of the process. This is just part of the process of bringing this into the reality, because I know that whatever you ask for, you get. Just focus on that, okay? That's sort of what's happening. They're saying too with as far as the relationship is you're sort of focused on all the things that aren't going right in your life right now and focused on how everything just doesn't feel right and I'm lonely, and you're looking for everything outside of yourself to fulfill you. And they're sort of saying like, you need to step back. You know what it is you need to do in order to heal all of this and change these belief systems. And now you actually have to put it into action. Okay. So I know I didn't really fully answer it the way you wanted to hear it, but it is what needed to be said. All right, music for the vibe. So they said, seek your truth, ask them, and they will clarify. And they showed me like going down like like spiraling down a drain hole or spiraling down the rabbit hole, which is like, it sort of feels like I'm looking outside of myself for all of the answers, and I'm looking for, it literally feels like getting down the spiral hole of all the conspiracy theories. Does that make sense? Thank you, Anna. Hello, B. You're not sure? Basically, so if you're tapping into your intuition and you're tapping into your spiritual side and your psychic stuff, when we get caught up in like looking for a guru and a guide and like, oh, but all these people and this person is so popular and blah, blah, blah. And then we go from one thing to another and what somebody thinks about an idea. We forget that when we're growing on our intuition, we really need to just listen to our own intuition. instead of looking for a validation outside of it. So it's like, maybe it's with more than just your intuition, but it just feels like ask your guides just to validate it, and they'll give you the signs. They'll give you the validation, and they'll give it to you quickly, and just ask them for in a very clear and concise way, and trust that that's what they do, because they do. That resonates. Okay. You're welcome. So don't get lost down the rabbit hole of all the spiritual people, because there's a lot of stuff that doesn't resonate with me. And like, I really am tired of listening to people wield the karma sword. I used to do it. And then I realized that like somebody did it to me at like as if I should fear saying I hated Trump. And I'm like, I'm not wishing death on the man. I just don't like him. And that's cool for me to not like somebody. And he's like, karma. And I'm like, oh no, that's like the same book, different cover. I know that garbage. That's the same Satan garbage too that people throw at you. All right. Lily, any messages for you this week? This is weird. Do you have a dog? Because I heard, how's your dog? So weird. Do you have a dog, or do you have a dog that's passed? Don't. That's an interesting name. Hello. You do? Okay, there we go. I'm like, why? How's your dog? Like, what is that? How's your dog? Is it a blonde puppy by chance? Because I saw a little blonde, like furry. Congratulations. So I think it's really, when they say something silly like that, it's just to honor that they see what's going on in your world. That I just don't want him in office. Is that okay? So they see what's going on in your world. They see what's kind of around. And sometimes it's not really about us needing to know that there's some like miracle headed our way, but just that we're not alone, right? Sometimes that's what our soul needs for comfort, that it's like, the world's just not going to drop out from underneath us. So when you're having a rough time, just really trust that we truly aren't alone, that like the universe seriously is always conspiring in your favor. KK, there's a lot of questions in here, so I might have you cut it off because I see a lot of people coming in. So maybe at 15 instead of at, cut it off in the next 2 minutes. Yeah, I guess that's 20 minutes. We usually say that anyway, but there's a lot of y'all. And I guess apparently I'm chatty. Hang on, I dropped one of my rocks. I like my rock. Oh, it's my Labradorite. I don't know what I have going on here. Oh, well, not meant to be, shyster. Okay, sorry, that was professional. All right, so Lily, that is for you. I hope that doesn't leave you disappointed, but I'm super excited for you and your puppy. Tammy, how's your health? Do I see any issues? All right, let's go with that. So I feel, I did feel a little bit of tightness in my chest here, but it doesn't feel cardiac. It doesn't feel COVID. It just feels like maybe more like of an anxiety-induced tightness, or like if you get reactive airway, which is like if you exercise, sometimes you get tight, though technically you don't have asthma. It feels kind of like that to me. I feel like I went to my knees then next and felt like, I don't know if I'm arthritic, but I just feel like my knees give me are a little cranky. And then I felt my lower back and I'm still feeling my lower back. But it feels like not a spinal issue. It actually feels like a muscle issue. Like everything is tight up in the back of my legs and the hamstrings and stuff. And so it's actually making my knees crankier and it's also pulling on my back. So I would encourage you, if you're able to, and if your doctor says it's okay, uh, look at good stretches so you're going to want to look at your hip flexors, your lower back, your quads, your legs, kind of like all the way down. And even your feet. I feel like your feet need a little feet yoga, toe yoga. It would really help then not have some of that crankiness going on. And it literally can be like a 5 or 10-minute stretch each day. Just make sure you're doing this to kind of keep active because it's, again, I feel like I've been more sedentary than I normally am. Stretching mine, get comfortable. But I don't feel anything major. Can we try and keep the chatter between everybody down just a little bit? Because what happens is I get a lot of questions asked at the very beginning if you're new here. And then I lose them as I go through because I am on here for quite a while trying to answer everybody's questions. Okay? Greeter TK, please. I don't know if Tammy, if you can validate any of that. You don't have to ask, just ask your question. Actually, I think she closed the KK. Did you close it? No, we're not taking any new questions now because we're at 20 minutes and there's already a lot. So if you would please kindly, oh, you closed it? Okay. I didn't know if you did or not. Oh, thank you. I see that. Thank you. But if you subscribe and like and hit the bell, I'm here every week. Or you can pay for a private reading, and they're pretty cool too. Nicole Plant. You're suspicious of Huda. What's going on? Oh, I typed Huda. Ooh, sorry, Nicole Plant. I don't feel like anything weird is going on. I just feel like you're sensitive to Huda's energy. So it feels more like Huda tends to be really secretive and maybe isn't always honest. And you're sort of just picking up on all of that energy. But I don't feel like theft or trying to undermine you. I feel like Huda's nature is very also like as a person who doesn't trust many other people and feels very like paranoid. And so you're sort of picking up on that energy. And so it's making you feel paranoid. It's like, for me, if someone is lying, I don't necessarily know what they're lying about all the time. I just sense something's up. Or even if they're planning a surprise, I sense something's up and I don't necessarily know what's up. So it like puts me in, so like when they're trying to hide things. So it's like sort of that nature of like wanting to hide things, even if it's like something stupid and little, you're just picking up on it. And it just feels like not picking about that uncertainty and not being able to trust their own things. Dulcie. Oh, I nailed it. Allergies and headache. I have no idea what, but okay. Thank you for the validation, Dulcie. Good evening, Regine. They said, speak your truth. You're still holding back. Like you're still waiting for the other shoe to drop. And it's sort of like, don't be afraid to speak your truth because you're afraid everything's going to fall apart or someone's going to walk away or people aren't going to like you. They're still encouraging you, whatever the situation is, to really just be open and honest. You can do that without, whatever. And also, are words really that serious and dangerous that somebody is going to leave you? And if they are, then like the relationship, whatever relationship it is, really wasn't that based on a really strong foundation anyways. But it just like needing to speak truth is really, really important. You guys, I do say that a lot here because there's a lot of people who come in for this information have a hard time advocating for themselves. Okay, spiritual seeker. You're welcome, Nicole. It's okay, greeter. Don't worry. I just wanted to make sure that I want to make sure I don't lose anybody because there's like, if you look, like there's probably 20 or 30 comments just for 836 alone. So what happens if too much gets lost and I'm trying to get through all of those. Blue Storm. Any advice for this coming week? They said, hold your horses. Not to everybody, but to Blue Storm. So it's like, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Don't be in such of a hurry. So it feels like you need to pace yourself this week. For whatever reason, you need to pace yourself. And then like next week, you can take off and go. You can hit your kick and go. Hello to everybody. If I don't say hi, it's not, I really do see the comments. And I do go back and look at these a little bit closer. Hello, Starry Sky. So now we're almost 30 minutes in and I'm just hitting the 836 mark. So that gives you an idea of, it takes me a while to get through some of these just from regular chatter, what they give me to share and answering your questions. That makes sense. Okay, good. You're welcome, Blue Storm. Okay, Starry Sky. Y'all, I don't know. Your guys are goofy tonight. How do you take your tea is what I heard. What? I know, it's so weird. Sorry. Are you meeting somebody out or are you potentially doing like where you might meet up with somebody that you haven't met before, but not doing a full dinner and not doing alcohol, but doing like tea or coffee or meeting an old friend? I don't know why, but it's like, does that make any sense? Danny 333 and love. I'm going to come back to you, Star Sky, because I just want to look some validation on that. No? All right, let me figure out why I said that. Can you see my gray hairs? Sorry. Do you like watching like period pieces like Downton Abbey or all those kind of, whatever, Poldark, things like that? Like, do you enjoy those? You're still recovering from surgery. Okay. So The only thing I can feel of is like it's like sort of like you're running wild with your imagination. So it's sort of like getting caught up in. And the reason why I asked those, it was like they showed me like getting caught up in what if my life was like this, but it's like so like doesn't really fit what would even be possible here. Like meaning you're looking at this whole other time period. Maybe V. That could be, but yes. Okay. You like those things. Okay. So it's sort of like stop trying to live this life in this and like because you're not really fully happy in what's going on around you in this like fantasy world. They literally said it like this: you can manifest whatever you want. If you're living this fantasy world, we can't bring that to you unless you want to go like role play or act. But like your real life isn't going to be like that. So it's like sort of like, why not use this time when we're not wanting to really enjoy, like we're not enjoying the recovery of surgery, et cetera, to manifest what you want in your life and how you want it to be in your life. Danny is love coming soon. I honestly feel like it's going to be. So it doesn't mean that there's nobody I'm dating in between now and this period of time, but I almost feel like it's like a year. So it's like next July. So I feel like in 3 weeks I kind of meet somebody and there's I feel like off and on things, but I also feel like not feeling settled enough here to really allow something in and have something serious for a year. Is your father still alive? I heard yes. Base man. I am full open to being wrong about that, but I heard yes pretty quickly on that one. Stephanie, could you have messages from your spirit guides? You're so weird. So they said, how often do you go running at night? That's not a question I want to actually answer, but it's sort of like I'm stuck in my head and worried about everything that's going to happen. And I'm worrying about like ridiculous things. It's like, oh my God, if I went running at night, all these things. So what would I have? How would I prepare? And it's like, yeah, but how often do you go running at night? Never. Why are you spending time worrying about that and creating that fantasy in your head? So it's also like, it's like you're running a rat race in your head. It's like a little hamster wheel going around and like creating, again, it's another creating all of these things. It's like, stop worrying about so many things that like you wouldn't do anyway. Logically wouldn't come up because it's not like where your logical brain would go. You're a pretty careful being. They said spending too much time in your head, spending too much time in your head. You're welcome, base man. Thank you for always being here and supporting me. Oh my God. Another good, let's see. I watched most of, I didn't get to finish it. Horror Noir is really, really good documentary. I recommend it. And then I also watched Disclosure, both very good documentaries. Horror Noir is on, I think it's on Prime, and Disclosure is on Netflix. I've been into documentaries. That's so true. Okay, so that's what they're asking you to do, is just kind of hang in there and stay out of your head. It's not good for you right now. Shannon Lane, do you have a name of anybody you specifically want to talk to? I'm going to look for that. Like, I don't somebody can see it in the comments somewhere if she already posted that. Hi, Uzumaka. What am I going through in my life at this time? Do you want to be more specific or like I don't have 20 minutes to sit on your energy, so like Sonia Rain. Oh, thanks. I like tie-dye. Um So Anna, I'm going to just give you the long short. I don't know if you're around the age of 30, but it feels like almost like the way, if you've heard of the Saturn return, the way that like it really sort of like changes like a lot of, it brings up a lot of old stuff and it causes a lot of shifts in what our belief systems are and how we view the world and sort of how we view our life. And we sort of take stock in our life and sort of like start to reevaluate about where we want to go and how we want things to be. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's sort of like, it's that really that kind of feeling. And so it just feels like sort of everything's falling apart, but it's not, it's falling together. Thank you. Hi from Australia. Good morning to you. I feel like Pamela, you haven't been here in a while, have you? I feel like I've seen your name before. Shannon Lane, if there's somebody you want to connect with, can you give me a name? That would be easier to go about it that way because I'm not feeling any spirit coming through right now. Any buddy that's really making themselves fully known. There's like a grandmothery figure here, but I don't know if it's a grandmother or a great grandmother. She has really high cheekbones and a cute little smile. I'm trying to think of the Aura A. I don't feel that you will. I feel like there might be like a connection in a couple weeks, but it feels like it sort of fizzles out and it becomes nothing. Dulcie B. Messages from your mom. Can you give me your mom's name? Guys, can you please just give me names? Because it's just makes it easier for connecting into their energy. Sonia Rain. Any messages for you? So this is what they said to me. How do you know that it's the right time? And it's sort of like, so it's like I'm watching somebody like it's like not knowing the timing and if it's the right time and do I go now or do I wait? Do I do this, do that? And they're like sort of like, you know, when it's the right time because you just energetically go with it. You just feel it and you flow with it. So it's like, it's like you will know when to take that step. You'll just know. They're really encouraging you to trust your intuition. They're really encouraging you to sit into that. So for some people, they feel it in their gut. I actually feel it in my heart for you. Like this is where I know when my intuition is right or not. Like my heart really connects into it and it beats at the right way in order to when I hit my stride. So you'll know when you know. You're on the right path. You're doing the things that you need to do. And it feels like very soon is the time to step forward and move through it. And you'll just know. It's not about the trees blowing in the wind the right way and the leaves rustling the right way. It's just, you just know, and you'll know it in your heart. That was for Sonia Rain. Linda is your mom's name, Dulcie. And Shannon, okay. Okay, you want to know what your spirit guides tell you? Okay. I will give that to you, Shannon. Hi, Star Girl. Okay, Dulcie, so let's see about your mama. I don't know. Did mom have a stroke or did she have something in her head, either stroke, head trauma? I don't feel cancer, but I'd be wrong about that. And did she smoke? Because I hear like a kind of like smokery voice, like that or raspiness to her voice. Can you validate any of that? Stroke. Okay. Was she also a smoker? Yes. Okay. She still smokes. You just cannot. My grandfather smoked like 4 packs a day. He was a total horse's ass. He had colon cancer at a point, and he was in the hospital for it. He lit up a cigarette, and the nurse was like, Mr. So-and-so, you can't be in here. You're in here for cancer. And he's like, I didn't have it in this end. So it's like, yes. So it's like, I'm still smoking. So I feel like she had a very like sarcastic sense of humor and sort of wasn't the best at telling you she loved you and really like kind of celebrating your wins and really kind of helping you lift you up. It was sort of like if you tripped, she'd laugh and joke about how clumsy you were all the time. But she didn't mean it to be mean. It's literally like, I'm so insecure about myself. I sort of don't know how to see and build up other people comfortably and celebrate with them. Welcome, Starville. But I'm not taking any new messages. I have to end it somewhere, and I know it seems pretty early, but I have to end it somewhere otherwise because I'm still catching up. I'm on an 8:36. I'm still like in the second minute in catching up on questions. So I'm going to leave that with you, Dulcie. She's good, but it is kind of an apology for not fully celebrating you. But it really wasn't about you. It was her own insecurities that kind of stopped her from being able to like fully move and see how to do that comfortably. Let's see, who was that Shannon Lane. I'm going to go back to you. You just want a message from your guides. Shannon, does this older woman with higher cheekbones make any sense to you? She would have been little too, and maybe wheelchair bound at the end because I just feel like I'm sitting almost. But hit the bell so that when I go live next week, I do these weekly. So just get here early, and then you get to join in, or you can always get a private reading. Those are paid, and my website, that page on there on my website is linked below. I was just curious, Shannon, if this person kind of made any sense. And she has darker skin. I'm not lighter skinned. When I say I'm usually sitting in the person's energy. So I speak in first person because that's how I feel them. Could it be it's older woman? It's not somebody young. So it is somebody who's crossed over. When they come to me this way, I know they're crossed over. I feel almost Native American energy. Or indigenous. Indigenous, I think, is more respectful. Do you know if that correlates? I can leave it and just go with your guides. I just was wondering who this person is. Hi, Kawana. All right, I'm going to just... This is another case of your great grandmother was Cherokee and small, but yes, this is her. Remember I said, I don't know if this is a grandmother or a great grandmother. And I even said at the very beginning, like you could get a great grandparent that you don't even know. You should watch who you're asking for. Well, there you go. There's your validation that people are around you. So she says, I'm taking what she says, okay? She says that you have the same abilities she did. I don't know if you know much about her, but I feel like she was like a vision person, or I don't know if they call them spirit walkers, or I don't know in the Cherokee tribe what the terminology is, but she was someone who was highly connected into spirit and into nature as well. So like she could speak to them. She said, you can do this, and you just really need to trust and look within yourself and stop looking outside of yourself. She was an elder. She was a wise woman. She was somebody that they went to. I'm leaving you with that message because I know that's strongly is for you. Okay, Uzumaka, you're up next. Oh, I want to make sure I spell your name right because Uzoa. Okay, I missed an A. M-A-K-K. Okay, Uzumaka. They said take a leap of faith. So if it's coming to a decision making and it's this week and it's like, here's the thing. I heard take a leap of faith. It's going to work out okay. Does that make sense to you? It feels like I have something to like that. It's this week. I have to make this decision. And it's like, do I do it or not do it? I don't know what to do with it. Did you like have a near miss this week? Because I heard that's one hell of a close call. So I don't know what happened in the last week, but it feels like somehow I made it out alive, or I don't know. But it feels like it feels like something should have happened that didn't. Like something should have gone wrong that didn't. And just whatever it is, it might make sense later this week, Uzumaka. Just whatever it is like sort of take a leap of faith. You'll know if it's safe or not, but just that it's all going to work out. Google user, does that make sense? The near miss? You can email me or you can visit my website. There's a link below my website, the readings page. So it's myspiritualfriend.com/readings. Okay. No. This isn't Uzo. That's not for you. That's for Google user. But Uzo, for you, it just feels like take a leap of faith. Take a leap of faith is your thing. I don't know. So it might be something that comes up in the next few days where it's like, should I, shouldn't I? And it just feels like it'll be okay. Take a leap of faith. But I'm glad you made it. It didn't die on Black Friday. Google user, does that make sense? Ugh. I'm gonna have to keep moving. Rosella, again, if you guys really, really want to reach out to someone, please leave a name. What does Kimar feel for you? Kiss JG. So I feel like Kimar is attracted to you. I think he physically, like I think there's like a connection there. But I also feel like it's not really, I feels like, I don't want to say player. It just feels like really young and not like somebody who's really serious about settling down and being in monogamous relationships. Doesn't mean I'm like, it means I don't want to look down on a girlfriend is sort of the feeling I get. Lauren or your youngest Kaylee have any spiritual gifts? Rose, I feel like Kaylee definitely does. She's empathic and I actually feel like she's clairvoyant. She's very sensitive to other people's energies. And then your oldest friend, Lauren. I just keep hearing dormant with her, dormant. So it's like a lot of stuff happened when I was younger and it really scared the crud out of me and I just sort of shut it down. But like she's very sensitive to people's energies, but she doesn't really understand or fully grasp that that's what's going on, but it's kind of dormant for her. Hey, what does Spirit have to say about my weight loss? You're doing great. They said you could do better if you sort of focus it on making sure that you're really celebrating all the small wins in it and keeping it in a really positive space instead of going, well, why am I lost 1 pound, but why didn't I lose 5 pounds? So like, it's sort of like really focusing on celebrating it and celebrate your body. Like, speak to your body in a kind way. So instead of going, oh, I still have this here, be like, this, like, I'm so happy with all of my cells for functioning the way they need to do, and for, like, burning the excess weight that I no longer need. Celebrating this vehicle that you're in, because it's gotten you to this point. It's carrying you along. So celebrate it and speak kindly to it. So it feels like just shifting the energy a little bit would get you even further, because you're doing good. It just feels like hitting like a little bit of a plateau, or so they're saying, sort of like shift your thought process on it. That was for hey. You're very welcome. I'm not taking any new questions tonight, so like and subscribe, hit the bell. And I go on live every week, so then you'll get a notification when I'm live next week on Sunday, and you can come join me then and get your question answered then. Or if you want to pay for reading, they're pretty good. You can ask some people if they've had them. I don't know who's on here that I've given a private reading to, but Lucy, did I already answer a question? Maybe not. Maybe there's just a lot of T's. Do you stress T out? Because it's a feeling of just feeling like it's just very stressful. It's very overwhelming. It's very stressful. What courses? You're talking like metaphysical? I do feel like needing some more energy healing courses. So I don't know, or I don't know if it's acupuncture or working with like, what do they call them? Grids, like crystal gridding over somebody's body and doing energy stuff with that. And there's something with plants. So I don't know if it's using herbs to heal, or actually like it, or if it's like actual showing people how to place plants and living things around their house in order to help shift energy. I'm not sure. I wish I could say it's exactly this, but there is a lot of energy work where you should focus. That might be the near miss Google user. So they said she's okay. I actually feel like so I don't know if you're actually looking for a place now, like an Alzheimer's care facility for her now, but it feels like in the next couple of months, I feel like in 2 months or so, there's going to be a move to doing that, because it becomes too much for her safety and everybody else's mental well-being. one of my jobs in college, I worked actually in an Alzheimer's care facility. My first job was in a nursing home living facility when I was 16. It is a lot to care for somebody who has Alzheimer's. And so please understand, don't ever feel guilty or that you didn't do enough or that you're sending somebody away to die, because you're not. It just becomes for everybody's safety and well-being that it's just too hard under the circumstances of a private home, unless you can have 24-hour nursing care there to kind of be up with her and protecting her. I do feel like she gets sundowners really bad. I don't know if you can validate any of that. You are, okay. So it feels like within 2 months, just don't feel bad or that you're giving up or you wish you could do more, or try not to be hard on yourself about that. I might have. Oh, I did miss yours, KK, sorry. Oh, Shannon, I see the name here now. Steph. So I feel like you do. I just don't know how long-term the relationship is. So I don't know if it's a lifetime relationship, but I do feel like there is a relationship there with the two of you. I do think he's interested in you. I also think he's extremely, like, internalizes a lot, and that might be a little bit hard in your relationship, because I feel like he is not very good expressing his emotions. Kai Marie. Absolutely, you do. Absolutely, you have a connection. Whenever you go anywhere, and you feel like you're going home, or you feel like this massive connection, you definitely have times there. So you don't really need me to answer that. But I would say you definitely have lifetimes there. KK, I realize I just skipped over your question again. I'm going to do it. I would encourage you to do you can do like a past life regression, or even just like do a meditation that's just like where you listening to sound and kind of relaxing, and set the intention before you started to have your guides kind of give you an awareness of that lifetime that you're connected to. KK, let's do yours. Has there been a lot of arguing around you lately? Because I feel like I have one person giving me advice and then another person kind of jumping in. Well, how do you know that? Da, 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 da. Does that make sense? Because I'm trying to figure out why they're arguing. I don't know what this is, but it just feels like getting advice from one person, hearing somebody's opinion on something, and then hearing another person's opinion on it. And I'm like sitting in and just like watching them kind of like, but it's almost like now they've lost who's in the room, that I'm not even like, they were originally going to talk to me and now they're sort of just like chatting with each other. You're welcome, Kai. There are ongoing conversations with your parents. Maybe that's what it is. Just tune them out is a feeling. Just like literally tune them out and just go on about your day and don't worry about them. I see that. I saw Rosella and she asked about her grandmother Betty. I just noticed that myself. Okay, Rosella. So I'm getting another smaller woman here, and I feel like I would have had dementia toward the end and sparkly eyes. Does that make sense? Does that connect with you, Rosella? What else can you tell me, Betty? So sometimes some dementia patients are like, you kind of have to watch them, like they get a little angry and like what I learned, and this is not scientific, but it's like in the nursing home, they would say like, oh, sometimes they were like the sweetest people in real life. And like, and then once they had dementia, they would like swear like crazy. And like it was almost like a traumatic head injury patient where they just like, and they can't help it. They don't know they're doing it. But she just feels like sweet and always smiley and always happy. And like, just like so okay with like, she was just happy. They love, like, it's just like everybody loving on her. So if I was in a nursing home, everybody around me loved me and gravitated towards me. It was just like she just really just love. Know that she's okay. She said to me, I'm not in that body anymore. I'm showing up as that body so she knows it's me and that you can validate it's me, but I'm not there anymore. I'm walking, I'm doing great, I'm beautiful, I'm strong, I'm healthy. And I feel like she does come to visit you and you sort of know that. She said, I let the baby know. So I don't know if you have a child or a grandchild yourself, but it's like there's a baby, and I'm leaning towards it being more of a male that sees her. She can't help the meanness. Don't worry about that. She couldn't help it. Okay. So she's with the baby. Is it a little boy? Try not to chat too much, please. Because now I have lost the beginning of the chat because I've been on so long. So try not to chat so I don't lose, because I'm still literally in 837. I think I'm hitting 838. Urban Lady, you're up. Okay, generalist for urban. Okay, so you have the right idea for like becoming more independent and doing things on your own. Like, I don't want to call it like off the grid so much, but you sort of have the right idea for doing that. But what's interesting is I feel like it's not so much that you're going to need it for like survival. It actually feels like it's going to end up helping you teach others in a way to like find self-confidence, and gain a sense of respect for themselves. That's what self-confidence is, right? but it just feels like, and I feel like you're going to use it. Like you're going to teach other people how to do it, but it feels like different and bigger on an emotional, mental health healing aspect than it is about surviving the crazy world. I don't know if that makes sense for you, but moon baby. Um, um, I'm not feeling strong feelings. I feel like, is he even in the picture? Because I don't feel like he's even really in the picture. It's kind of like communication is minimal, if at all. Greeter TK, can you give me a name? Albert, I feel like you're going to be able to tell her. I feel like literally it feels like running out the door and letting her know. It sounds terrible, but it feels like not a lot of time passes. Now, I also feel as though she already knows. I also feel that she's sort of waiting for this moment. It's not going to come as a surprise to her. And she loves you and accepts you and just wants you to be happy. I do feel like she worries about you and the struggles that you'll have. But loving you and accepting you is not like on the, it's on the table. It's like out, not out of it's this is like getting jumbled. Is not something that would ever be not be there, right? Okay, so it's like I loves you and respects you and cares about you and just wants you to be happy. So I'm looking for a greeter to give me your mom's name. You're very welcome, Albert. Yeah, okay, so then that makes sense. I'm like, I feel like he's not even the thing. I don't feel like you will, Moon Baby, but listen, you're better off. I really do feel that. Oh crap, you guys. Whose name was I looking for a name for mom? Try not to chat so much anymore, okay, guys? Hi, Dan. Oh, thank you. Dan said, I strongly recommend setting up a personal reading with Annalisa. She is one gifted individual. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, you know what? Someone recommended to me, my friend who used to be in production. She's like, make sure you ask the questions. And I keep forgetting to do that. So I need to read the questions that you guys ask. Whoever it was, I forget your name, that your mom passed away in 1999. Please type her name. Shirley said she'd love to know if Nate is coming back in your life. No. And again, I feel like this is like this energy that's sort of going on right now. If you notice me saying that a lot, it just feels like there's a lot of energy right now where it's things that are no longer working for you and shifting for you are totally making their last hurrah and moving out the door. So I feel like no, not. And I feel like they're telling me to really make sure you look at that relationship specifically and take time to really look at what you learned from it, even the rough parts of it. And it's not about rejection. It's there was a huge growth for you with that relationship. So that was for Shirley S. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. I'm afraid to scroll down at this point that I'm going to lose stuff. Jamila, I'm going to get to yours. Shoot. Okay. Shirley S. I answered. Cheryl Ibanez. Could you give me a name of your crush? I'm not taking any new questions tonight. Mom's name is Stella. Thank you so much. Was that yours? Greeter, were you the one who said 1999? Is Mom Irish? I know that name doesn't sound Irish at all. Zafino is like not Irish at all, but I literally heard, does she have Irish blood? Am I a lesbian? What kind of question is that? Not that I would be offended if I was, but does it matter? Oh, okay. Is there an Irish connection? Or would she have joked? Like, I just feel like having this really, so it's like literally I heard top of the morning to you. So I don't know if she would have said that, but that's literally what I heard. And it feels like being like really kind of funny and jokey. And like, I just had a really lighthearted, fun sense of humor. Okay, Jamila is next. She's already at the top. Okay, Jamila. So for your next romantic, you said, will my next romantic partner share the same energy as me? And immediately before I heard that, I heard yes, absolutely, because you've been really doing and moving a shift to attract that in, and sort of like changing your mental diet and changing like everything around you so that this person that comes in will match you better. Look, whenever we make this. Oh, okay. So whenever we meet someone, they sort of are where we are energetically, but what happens is we grow out of them. But what I feel like this person that comes in enjoys growing with you, sort of has the same interests and same thought processes about life and how it works, manifestation, purely speaking, move in the same direction. Even if we have different interests, whatever that means, like I like sports and I like more artistic things, whatever one likes artistic things, we still have a like-minded approach towards life. So it harmonizes better. Race B, I'm not comfortable because those are supplements and it's sort of like asking me for medical advice. And I don't know. So Race B asks, what do my guides have to say about 16 grams of bulk supplement turmeric and 10 milligrams of piperine? Black pepper for my nerve issue. I don't know. I feel like the turmeric is okay. I'm not strong on the other ones. But again, please contact a doctor about these things because I am not a doctor. I don't know how these interact with other medications. And every decision you make is yours and yours alone. So please understand that. Oh, Andrea. That makes me sad if you're worried about showing your picture somebody doesn't like you anymore. if you're worried about that, because I feel like, yes, it's still interested. I also feel very busy, so I can't really, maybe something came up personally and I can't really answer and respond exactly yet. But yes, I do still feel an interest. Welcome, greeter, by the way. KS, I feel like, yes, briefly, but I don't know that it'll last. Autumn, you asked, will I date and later marry Chris E? And I feel like no, because your interests will change to a different person. Like, it feels like just jumping fairly quickly to somebody new. Hang on. I'm looking for. Cheyenne, I'm not taking any new readings or any new questions. The list has been closed for a while. I'm just catching up on what I'm behind on. But if you subscribe and hit the bell, you come back next week when I go live, when it notifies you, and you can get your question answered for free, or you can contact me and pay for a reading. Same thing with you, Michelle. Okay. Oh, shoot. Who was I? Race B. Jamila. Was that you? No, not Jamila. There's somebody I was waiting on. Oh, Italian. I forgot to add the donation thing. So, shoot, where are you? Greeter, did your mom have a nice person? Was the personality, did that hit? Did that make sense? Your dad had Irish in him, but did your mom was she joke around? Would she have like jokingly come in the room and said something silly and kind of laughed? I just feel like I have this lighthearted energy. You too, Rosella. I don't know if that makes any. So when there's a lot of chatting in here, I'm just letting you know if you're new here, what happens when you talk and forth or you put like a quick LOL and all of that stuff. I know you want to be friendly, but it's also what it ends up doing is I start losing questions. So I may not have missed you. It may have like the question may have dropped out. It's totally. So I just need KK to help me out here and let me know. And you weren't necessarily skipped. It may be that my order is different than yours. And now I lost because everybody's chatting. Oh, shit. So I'm going to answer what I have up here first. I'm just going to go through. Laura H., I don't feel like a long-term relationship like comes for another 2 to 3 years. I know that's not what you want to hear, but it does just feel like shifting and somebody not being available really. So who's coming in? Tulip, will Muhammad and I reconcile after all of this breakup? I don't feel like it. I just feel like you're going to see a side of him through all of this that you're not going to feel. It's not, I don't think anything violent's going to happen, but it just feels like not feeling safe to be vulnerable around him. So like, I don't know that I can trust him anymore. It's sort of the, like, trust that he's going to really have my best interest at heart kind of feeling. Thanks, Urban Lady. Lauren Jane, should I move to NYC or stay in Buffalo after college? Do my spirit guides or past loved ones have any advice on this? I hear immediately that you should move to New York City. I feel like opportunities will open up, not only for affordable housing, um, but opportunities for jobs. I don't know that you'll live in Manhattan, but I do feel you moving this direction. Serena, what career is ideal for Talisa? I heard fashion, so I don't know if that makes sense, but it just feels like moving in towards fashion and creative area. Will you move houses this year? It feels more towards the end of November, beginning of December. So like right at the very end of the year. Lisa Thurlow, what do I need to know for regarding my healing process? Whatever you get, I'm out of town. So it just feels like a lot of it is perspective. A lot of it is forgiveness, but not even just like, it's not about forgiveness of the other person. It's forgiveness of how, maybe how you handled everything, right? So forgiveness of how, well, if I would have said this, then maybe he wouldn't leave. But it's like forgiving yourself for not always saying the right things or doing the right things or moving in the right direction. And understanding that when you did those things, you did them with the best that you had possible, the best tools. You know, you had certain tools in your chest for coping and for communicating and for moving through that. And you did the best that you could. And so now what you need to do is start really, doing the internal work of self-forgiveness. Because a lot of times as we're healing, we think, well, I need to forgive the other person. Well, yeah, you do, but you also have to forgive yourself for not having been perfect and not having done things so that relationships lasted, or kept people in and around you. Keisha or Quiche, general messages from spirit regarding your career at this time. I just keep hearing over and over and over in my head is, who do you speak to? Who do you speak to? But it feels like, I don't know if there's somebody like where you're working now where it's like, I don't know if they're necessarily above you, but they feel like they're more above you and they feel like they have a right. And it's like really butting heads and like not communicating well. And it feels like it would behoove you to kind of go just normally like you chain a command, right? Like you want to go like up the line before you go straight above the other person. You want to like confront them first. But I feel like this person is completely incapable of communicating with you. It feels like I need to kind of go around and speak to my boss about it. And I heard, while there's room for growth where you're at, I actually feel like in 6 months I'm going to be leaving because I'm going to get a better opportunity. Balance C, any messages from spirit guides regarding health? Immediately I hear you're doing fine. That that while you're not perfect yet, you're moving in the right direction. So have been making a lot of changes in diet, becoming more active. I don't know if it's like major crazy exercise person, but it feels like I'm moving in the right direction. So even if you can't see the changes just yet, or your health getting better, you're like you've dropped the seed. You're on the way. You're progressing through to it. So keep up the good work is the feeling I get. I don't feel any major health issues that aren't able to be turned around. So it doesn't feel like, wouldn't feel like I'm giving this as an example. I don't know if you are diabetic, like type 2 diabetic, but it feels like I'm not type 2 diabetic where I need insulin. Maybe it might have been borderline and I'm actually turning it around. So everything I can do is totally turned around by lifestyle. So not necessarily saying that that's what's going on, but it's like an example of that. Like whatever, any health issues that might have been going on, it's like by lifestyle. I actually feel like you're getting a lot of mental clarity by kind of fixing stuff. Sweet pea, I never let people pay to skip the line. It's just patience. But that was kind. No one gets skipped. So that was balance C. I'm afraid to go down now. I'm afraid y'all are chatting away. So let me just like get through this. And then I know some people said I missed them. Don't panic. Miriam, messages from your spirit guide. Osland wants one. I guess you're Olsland. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Okay, and then Vicky. See, Vicky, I didn't skip you. Okay. Miriam, your spirit guides. So I get feeling like the overwhelmed feeling, and like literally like there's not enough hours in the day, and it's if they're like, you're running out of time. You're not really running out of time. And it's like to get me to show me other things. So just it's okay to let things go. It's okay to like just approach life with I'm bringing 100% of me today. Maybe 100% of me today is not the same as my 100% of me yesterday or my 100% of me tomorrow, but I'm bringing it what I can. So even if it's 30% of my 100% yesterday, it's still 100% of what I've got to offer you today. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but like sort of allowing this room for this imperfection, I feel like will really give your children and the people around you this opportunity to like not feel they have to be perfect, and like it just will shift a lot of the energy and make the ground feel a little more stable for them. Let me know if that makes any sense. Olsland wants a reading, and Vicky, I'm gonna. Oh, thank you, Urban Lady. You're welcome. That makes sense, Miriam. And then I'm up at Olsland. Could I have a reading, please? So do you have allergy issues? Because I just felt like I needed to breathe, and like all of a sudden my nose got crazy itchy. It's this feeling of like anxiety is kind of getting the best of me, and like needing to get out of the house, needing to get out and do things, and but just like my anxiety is really getting the best of me. Does that make sense to you? And I'll dig further deep into that. But do you suffer from anxiety? And Vicky, could you just give me a name of your Aries? I don't like, I'm not big on the whole astrological sign. I like names. It's like giving me a direct phone number to the energy of the person. Until Lisa is the last, I think. Oh, no, not yet. Okay. So, and this is strange. They just said to me, you need to drink more water. And truthfully, open your windows and shift the energy out. You're really, also really, really sensitive to other people's energies and like kind of what's going on in the world. And I actually feel like if you do something physical, it will help you move that energy through you. It's something that I have to do. Like I found that I do have to exercise every day. And like if I take, like the thing I do is Monday through Friday or whatever, but even when I take the 2 days off, so sometimes I space it where I do one day here and then another day, because it almost becomes too much for me energetically to not move the energy physically out of me. So it just feels like it would be really beneficial for you to do that, to kind of get physically active. It's hard for me right now to be like, because in my head, my logical head always goes, but there's a pandemic right now and we shouldn't be out. But I just feel like there's a way for you to get out and kind of move. Even if it's wearing a mask. I really, really, really encourage masks, because this is not a hoax. It's a real disease, to a real virus, to get out and kind of get movement going. And it feels like just sitting in my own head, like sort of lending towards being more anxiety ridden. Whereas if I just keep busy a little bit, it'll sort of help me out. And I'm sending you love for that, because that is like no joke, not fun. And it sucks. Richard is the name of the Aries. I wish I could say yes, but I just feel like he's really not that good for you. And it's become more about like habit of like wanting to make it happen, but not necessarily because it's quality. And I think Richard may have somebody else. So that was for Vicky. I think there's somebody who said something about. Oh, shoot. V, can I have a name? Autumn, I think I answered a question for you already. So I'm just going to do one question per person, because there's a lot of people here, obviously. Sweet Pea, what do you need to know about your forbidden love situation? Oh, okay. So there isn't anything for you to do per se about it. It's sort of like, okay, there's two things I got. One is you need to walk away while you still can. And two, it's that feeling of, look at why you're interested in somebody who's not fully available to you. Why do you settle for somebody who can't fully give themselves to you? And why do you, I don't care how wonderful a person, how nice they seem, how whatever, There's something strange when they're putting energy into somebody else when they're in another relationship. That means that they aren't really that respectful. And if they're doing it to that person, they're going to do it to you. I don't have a lot of faith in the that person not doing that. I haven't really seen that happen. So, and if they're not, even if they never ever cheat on you, they might make themselves unavailable because they become immersed in work or whatever else. If they're not fully capable of being fully available now, they're not going to be later. Remember that when you start a relationship, somebody is putting their best foot forward. So if they're putting you on the back burner, it's going to get worse from there. Because to me, it doesn't. I'm like, is it forbidden because the person's so much older, or it's somebody's dad, or like, and it's like, it doesn't feel that way to me. It feels like, or because it's my best, like, it just feels like there's another player in the relationship. There's a third party. Rachel loves. I'm not having anybody step through automatically. So I'll just, anything you should know. While you may have a lot of wisdom and a lot of experience in life, the feeling I get is allow some of the people around you to make their own mistakes instead of trying to prevent them from making so many mistakes or from letting them know how they could do it better. Because it just feels like part of the growth process of our growth process is making our own mistakes and sort of like sometimes learning through failure. It also feels like if you let that happen instead of trying to overreach, when they do fail, they'll come to you for advice rather than feeling like you're being overbearing. I don't know if that makes any sense. That was for Rachel. B and Beyond the Moon and Stars are both looking to speak with somebody who's crossed over. So I need names. Is pizza 2.0? Is that like a Pizzagate thing? Oh, Jesus. Okay, Rob. Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard when you can't. Some troll. It just seems like it's in the air. Oh, I can't even, y'all. It just seems like there's one of my wacky relatives decided to make a whole bunch of phone calls this week that I have to block this person. I block them here. Like if you ever see a thumbs down, this would be one of my relatives. If it's just one, more than one, God only knows. But if it's just one, it's usually one of my relatives. Okay. Mary or Richard Quinn. Vicky, did that make sense about your mom's personality? Guys, please don't talk to each other. Where did all of Vicky's comments go? Oh, well, I guess I lost them. Okay. Steph, I think I answered yours. You didn't lose it. I think I answered it. I really think I answered yours. Beyond the Moon and Stars. Sorry. Would it make sense that they're all over there drinking together? I know that's strange, but would that make sense? Beyond the Moon and Stars. Oh, I'm sorry. I realize that there's a delay here. Yes. Okay. So they're literally in a circle drinking and kicking their feet like up. And so I just feel like there's not like a huge message. It's just like they're over there partying. So know that they're safe and they're okay. I'm just getting to that like feeling like I've been on. It's an hour and 40 minutes. It doesn't matter if they met each other in life. They're celebrating now. So understand that this is a temporary thing and we travel in soul families. And so we aren't limited to just because we didn't know them here doesn't mean we don't know them over there. So they're over there drinking quite a bit. They are well. You're welcome. Okie dokie, y'all. I'm going to go. It is late. Apparently the interesting folks are out tonight. I must be doing something right and bothering some people if everybody feels they need to come on and harass me. Oh, isn't that good stuff? All right, y'all. Have a lovely week. Like, subscribe, bell, all of that good stuff. Remember, it's free. So if I missed you, I'm very, very sorry. It was not intentional. When there's a lot of chatter in the chat room, then questions get pushed, especially when there's like 30 different entries for the first couple minutes each. It takes me a while to get through, as you can see. So you're welcome, Beyond the Moon and Stars. I hope you'll come back next week. You guys have a lovely week. Wear your masks. Stay safe. It's not a hoax. Vote. Get out and vote. If you're not registered to vote, get yourself registered. And if you're going to do a mail-in ballot, register for it early for November, just so you make sure that you get on the list and you won't take it off. Exercise your right to vote. And somebody asked last that they thought she was psychic. I believe that everybody is intuitive and has the potential to be it. So I would say that, yes, you probably are. All right. Have a good night. Enjoy your week.